Every basic ability, skill, and talent can be developed through hard work, good strategies, persistence, dedication, and input from others. Where focus goes, energy flows. So focus your energy on continuous learning and stop wasting time thinking about looking smart. Build resistance, build vulnerability, build courageousness, and face adversity with a smile. Become comfortable with uncomfortable. You know, the only person that you need to prove anything to is you. Imperfect action trumps perfect inaction. Stop wasting time and get on with it. Failure is part of learning, so start learning by taking action.
Kristian, Livolsi, we are back. It is the hot seat, and we are a little bit late to our own party today.
Look, I've had some challenges this morning. Nothing that I can't conquer or have conquered already. But yes, I got caught up with the audiologist. I'm now sporting 2 fabulous hearing aids, which have thrown me off completely. But yeah, I've finally hit the automated world where I don't even need my AirBud Pros anymore because I'm permanently plugged in.
It is one of those things. I have an uncle that does this, and it's very funny because you don't know if he's going a little bit crazy and starting to talk to himself, or he's just like totally embraced technology that now he doesn't even have to hold his phone. Next level.
Well, the beauty of it is because I've got the iWatch Ultra, it all just links. So I don't even need to have my phone anywhere near me because I have an eSIM inside my watch. So now it's like total connectivity, but I have to stop certain notifications because I can just hear stuff in my ears the whole time. So I'm having some challenge, and also it's such a fake sound. So it's like wearing headphones the whole time. You get that sort of 3D stereo sound, but I haven't had 80% hearing loss in my left ear for so long, and now all of a sudden I can hear birds chirping because my right ear I can't hear the high tones. So now I walk and I'm like, what was that? And it's like I've been doing that for the last 2 hours. So yeah, and they're really small. You can barely see the wire.
I can't even tell actually.
But this one keeps popping out, so it's like
it's something new to get used to, isn't it? It's embracing the change.
It is embracing the change, but we're not here to talk about embracing the change or my audiology appointment. We are here to talk about what today, Simone? I have no idea.
I love that you have no idea. I'm hopefully going to catch you out one day. Today we're talking about being ridiculously persistent in your business. So I know you're going to love this topic. This is a good one. As always, I've got 3 questions for you. You've got 2 minutes on the clock to answer them. And this was a poll that we had up on LinkedIn last week, and we asked our audience and followers, are you ridiculously persistent in your business? So 85% of people said, give me the bone. They are ready and they're doing it. And 15% of people said that they just chug along, that they just go with the flow. So based on that, I wanted to ask you your first question of what does it mean to you to be persistent in your business?
Well, I think firstly, back to that survey, I think there's a lot of delusional people out there, and hopefully I'll be able to answer that in some of the questions you might be asking me today. So many people actually think they understand persistence, but if they did, they'd have 10x businesses and they would be incredibly fulfilled and happy in their life because persistence is endurance, it's grit, perseverance, stamina, tenacity, constancy, right? Or being consistent, right? It's also about following through. Now, there are words that are not synonymous with the average human, right? Like, why are some of the best-selling books all about tenacity and all about endurance and grit if all these people that did our survey said they have it. Either we hang out with really successful people, and that's awesome, bam, I'm really pumped. But I think I'm more concerned about all the people that didn't answer due to fear of not knowing. But look, according to Jim Collins, luck favors the persistent. So the drive for progress is a highly visionary company is like a persistent and incurable itch, right? That is never satisfied. And this is the undercurrent of persistence. Okay. It's also in business, it's a level 5 ambition driven by a 10x leadership approach. And how well, according to Collins, or how does it work according to Collins? It's about the fanatical discipline, the imperial creativity, and the productive paranoia. That's kind of how that whole 10x leadership and level 5 ambition comes together, right? And this is all from his research. And so therefore persistence in the form of disciplined people, disciplined thoughts, and disciplined action. That's my answer. There you go. Bang, right on time.
I know. I have a feeling you could have kept going then, but it was a very nice way to end that question.
Absolutely. Now, listen, again, we've got Sagar who's joined us. Welcome, but it'd be great for people to give us a thumbs up or a like or a clap, whichever, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on LinkedIn or YouTube, because sometimes we can't tell on StreamYard. And StreamYard, if you're listening, get your shit together, man. Like, this is like crazy. I think last week we ended up having like 20 people, but we couldn't see anything until right at the end. And so right now, if you can, give us a like, give us a post, tell us where you're from in the comments. Nothing's coming up, but at least I'd hope that there's more. Well, there was one person, apparently they've already left. That's how boring,
I think that's a delay. There's a little bit of a delay as well in the responses that come in.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So, all right. So question number 2.
Question number 2. So how do you know when you should be persistent and when it's time to pivot?
Ooh, okay. Well, I'm going to answer it slightly differently. You should always be prepared to kill an idea, but never give up on your company. Okay. So, because I think that, persistence can be misguided to where, hey, I'm going to be so persistent that I'm going to go down the wrong path and never get off the path. No, you've got to be prepared to kill your idea, but never give up on your company, right? So, sometimes a product may not be the right fit for the market you're in. Maybe your service isn't tuned enough. But the idea of going into business for yourself or running a company with 7 or 8, 10, 20, 40, 60, 100 products doesn't mean you have to kill the whole company. You got to have the company's got to be right. Now, when you have a framework for success like our business operating system that we have here at BGM, as well as a strong culture and talent, well, pivoting is easy because it's scientific, right? And this is the mistake people make. A lot of pivots are made intuitively. Like, I just know this is not working. Well, how do you know it's not working? Oh, I just know. Well, tell me, how do you know? I just know. Well, you don't know, right? Otherwise, you tell me why. Okay, and it drives me crazy. I meet some seriously crazy people sometimes, and I think to myself, why are you asking me this question? But yeah, that's it. I think you need to be prepared to kill an idea, right? But don't give up on what you're doing, like the company itself.
I think that's really important. And, when I'm writing this question, that was something I was reflecting on in my own business. And that was something that wasn't really happening for me. It wasn't about the persistence of wanting it to work. It was that the idea and the actual service wasn't what the consumer needed. So that was important for me, how I learned that from you, to recognize that persistence in the wrong direction is still not a great thing. But also, I guess knowing your numbers is a good way to reflect on that as well, right?
Absolutely, Simone. Knowing your numbers is one of the first things that everyone should know. At least know, leave the balance sheet to and P&L to your accountant to educate you on it if you're not educated or versed in it. But your cash flow, money in, money out, inflows, outflows, you should be a master of it. Otherwise, get out of business. You're just a passenger. Don't be a passenger. And that's the other point. If you're going to be persistent, be the leader, right? That's why I was referring to 10x leadership and to level 5 ambition. And in Jim Collins's research, it is blatantly clear that disciplined people, disciplined thought, and disciplined action drive, right, that fanatical discipline, the imperial creativity, which is the numbers, and then this intense productive paranoia, which I totally love. I love being productively paranoid. So yeah.
What does that mean? What is your explanation of productively paranoid?
Well, that means you're always thinking about what could go wrong, right? Without it becoming a problem. So in the sprint, there is in the sprint that we do for our evolved members every quarter, the 90 days. You've got your goals, you've got your priorities, and then you've got your challenges. That's why I built that column, to start making people start to be productively paranoid, right? And so what it is that for all those that don't know what I'm talking about, at the moment it appears that there's no one listening, according to the little eye. So let's just talk amongst ourselves, which we love anyway. And by the way, I can't even hear the sound of my own voice anymore because it's all through these fancy micro gadgets in my ears. But the thing is here that we built that, or I built that in as a column to start to get people to think about, once you've got your goals and then you've built out your key priorities to achieve those goals, what are the things that could go wrong? So you've got in your 90-day plan, right? So in your 90-day strategic framework, when you then go and do your to-do list by week and action and against your KPIs, right? You're able to go, oh, okay, roadblock, I knew this was coming, and you already have an answer to it. So many people are never prepared. That's what productive paranoia means.
Oh, cool. All right, thank you. Right. We've got one more question, and I know you've got a hard 2 o'clock, so I can't keep you for longer today. So my third question for you is, how does persistence benefit your business?
Well, look, the ability of a business owner to remain steadfast, focused, and also solution-orientated in spite of what could become roadblocks and challenges makes their business more likely to succeed. Okay, so persistence means, in the words of Brené Brown, showing up time and time again until you actually make it. So therefore, what are some of the other benefits that are associated with that? Well, one, you're going to become an expert. Okay, if you keep going and you go down the right path, you can become an expert. Persistence will also motivate you to try harder, Simone. It certainly has with me. Persistence is a sign of ambition, and therefore you're driving towards that level 5 ambition. Eventually, you do succeed because, as Jim Collins says, luck favors the persistent, right? You'll also be setting a really good example to your team and to people around you. Persistence teaches you the value of success. I certainly believe that, because when I failed the first time catastrophically, I knew that I could redo it. And I knew I could do it because if I persisted, but I had to go and find myself. So I then learned a lot of value about myself. Persistence also gives us the vital experience that we need to be able to take the next step. I mean, if I hadn't started 78 Ventures, failed at many of them, I wouldn't have left all those clues from the success and the failure, right? And now, I charge, a very handsome fee to provide advice to people. But, sometimes I can solve a complex problem that an organization doesn't even know exists in a 35, 40-minute meeting. So most of my clients actually don't care what they pay me, because I think last week I was on a call and I think I made the client, we've now materialized the action. It was a $220,000 return for paying me $2,500. Who was the chump? Me. I should have had an upside in the ROI. But but ultimately, and that was for what, an hour and a bit to work. And now that client is saying, well, how do we get you tied up into the company? And I'm like, well, I have no more place. There's no more time in my schedule to be another chair or to be on a board. So let's take it easy. But look, there a couple of other things quickly. I know we've just run out of time, but you become more aware of your own weaknesses when you're persistent. Okay, and therefore you can start playing the strength-based game, which is really important. People will also judge you on your consistency. Okay, and that's really important. I've had some very public failures, and I've done some really stupid shit along the way. But over the last 4.5, 5 years, that I've been really consistent, really focused, and saying, you know what, I'm going to change my approach completely. I'm going to learn from any mistakes that I've made. And I wish there were people on here that knew me well. They would actually say, "Yep, Kristian's totally standout. He's consistent, right? And he'll keep going and going." And the proof is in the pudding now for me. Not only are all my companies doing really well, but also all our client companies are doing really well. I mean, 39% annual growth for one of our companies, and this is not a little company. They're eight-figure company, growing at 39% year on year with growth in margin. Right, I've got another company that's growing 29% and with huge EBITDA growth. Right, again, 8 figures. We've got a whole bunch of 7-figure businesses that are going from that $2 to $4 million range. And I love that. This is not about impressing anyone that's listening. This is more about impressing upon everyone that when you're persistent and when you learn and when you fail and you get up again and you dust yourself off and go again, or when you succeed and you take that success and you then scale it up, right? You will be judged on that consistency, which is really important. And then probably most importantly, you'll be able to create the life that you desired. Okay. With persistence, you'll be able to sail through life's setbacks. You'll seek solutions to overcome all your challenges, and challenges, in effect, become opportunities in your life. And you keep moving forward to build a life that satisfies you, right? That's, in essence, the most important point out of all of those in terms of a benefit for persistence. And I know that took like 4.5 minutes to answer your question.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really, really important point. And it is different for all of us, isn't it? What's on the other side of persistence and what freedom looks like for us in our businesses. That is a different outcome for everyone. Yeah. Just so cool. Livolsi, thank you very much for your insights as always. Now, before you jump off and go, it is 29 days until you'll be here in Sydney with me. I'm excited.
29 days.
29 days.
I think I'm in Melbourne next week. Then I'm back. Yes. Then I'm away again. I don't know where I am. Then we're in Sydney. Yes, the mastermind, the Momentum Mastermind weekend. But we're opening up the Saturday Marketing for Growth workshop to the public. We don't have that many tickets left. I'm pretty sure you have absolutely smashed it.
I didn't know I had so many friends. I've been having amazing conversations the last few weeks, and yeah. I have been having lots of chats to people, and I'm super excited to be we're going to be helping people get set up for 2023, ending this year on a high, starting next year on an absolute winning track with a stellar marketing plan, which is strategy. Yeah. Really, it's not just
I think what's really important, I was doing a business jam for Adrian Lee's mastermind this morning. I do a jam in there every month for his members, and we talked about how to scale in the next 11 weeks, because that's exactly the holiday period. And and Adrian said to me, "Kristian, what can we do to help all of these guys like really kick into gear?" And I said, "Well, it's pretty easy actually. What we need to do is teach them how to actually build momentum over 11 weeks." But it dawned on me when I was in there. I said, look, guys, I'm going to omit the why and the who, because you guys should already know that in your business. But if you don't, then I'm going to be covering the who in Sydney. And it really dawned on me, the important part when you're trying to build your business is knowing who that dream client is. And I know that because whether you open up a restaurant, whether you open up a hotel, whether you open up a manufacturing business, whether you open up a hospital, you have to know who your dream client is, because the moment you know it, everything becomes easier. And so marketing for growth, we're spending a big chunk of the day really honing down on, who your audience is, what's their core desire, not this fluffy bullshit, he's bald, gorgeous man with, this beautiful beard and, gray eyes. And, I don't have gray eyes, I don't like brown. But
I have a whole portfolio of people I make up. Susan, Jane, maybe I'll pick Sarah this time.
That's right. So it's about really nutting down. And I think if you're stuck, and hi Alex, how are you? If you're stuck in understanding who your customer is, and that's the only reason to turn up to this one-day workshop, because we're going to dive really deeply into that, but then we're going to build out a content plan, a content strategy, a social media plan. And we're going to give you all the tools. We're then going to show you how to actually build ads, how to set them up. More importantly, we're going to finish and build a lead magnet on the day that you can start marketing. And then we're also going to show you a system on LinkedIn where you don't even need ads to generate leads. So, we're really doing this. And why? Because we built it for our Evolve members. So this is just because everyone said, let's open it up and invite a whole bunch of people to it. And subsequently, so I guess my motivation here is not to run an event. It's kind of like I built the content and the copy for for our members, and so I'm giving them value. So it's not this workshop where you go and you get a little tease. I think you summed it up beautifully. You go to things, you get the cookie dough, and then no one actually tells you what to do next. They tell you what to do next, but they don't show you how to do it. Well, I'm getting paid by my members to show them how to do it. So we're actually going to show them how to do it. We've got, my mate Mao Chia, ex-Uber marketing and ex-Riderware joining us live. We've got Adrian Lee. We've got Bonnie Louise. So we've got a whole bunch of experts that are going to actually show what we do in our company and our respective companies that generate leads on demand. So yes, it's really exciting. I am really excited about getting to Sydney. I'll be there for 3 days. But yeah, no, it should be a lot of fun, and I'm really glad that you pushed me into opening it up to the public.
Getting to Sydney. And let's just say that Tracy is super excited to be coming along with you because she hasn't been to Sydney before, so that will be
really?
Great.
She has been driving me crazy. She booked the tickets last night and was like, oh, this is so exciting. And then she was like, oh, look, I'll fly on another airline. I'm like, get on the same plane with me. With it, you can sit in the same Uber with me while I'm on the phone working, So no, Tracy's pumped. She's been so excited. She's got venue locked in. I think it's Vibe North
Sydney. Yeah,
North Sydney.
Vibe North Sydney is where it will be at.
Yeah.
It's a full day event. We will be going for 8 hours. Yes, the full day.
Well, I don't know. I think it might go for 9, might go for 10.
I know. It just depends on how quickly people can get through all of the value that we're going to be giving them, which is so exciting. And for anyone out there that thinks, oh, how is this different to any other marketing event? I am going to drop my chat link in the show notes as well. So you can contact me if you want to have a chat about what we're actually, if this is the right thing for you. I really would encourage you to reach out to me, have a conversation. I'm so excited that we're even offering people a money back guarantee. So if you come along to our marketing day and feel like you didn't get what we promised from the day, Kristian, you said you can have your money back.
No, 100%. You can have it all back. Because if I haven't delivered you the value, then I shouldn't get paid. So it's that simple. But I'll find that Yeah, I don't. I'm pretty confident because I've taught so many people how to make money this way, and it might actually end up being that your product or service just isn't good enough. And no one wants to hear that, but that's the truth. At the end of the day, sometimes, and then if that's what you realize out of it, then let me help you pivot. The chances are you're a bright person anyway. I haven't met that many people that get into business that haven't got talent. It's just that they haven't got talent to run a business. It's some of them, especially the innovators and inventors, are quite remarkable. So and as an angel investor, I get to see a lot of that, and that's a lot of fun.
Yes, amazing. Kristian Livolsi, thank you for your time once again. We appreciate all our viewers and followers, and please continue to interact with our polls, because this is where we are providing this value and service back to you. So we would love to hear from you. So have an amazing Thursday. I hope you can hear all the sounds of the day for many days to come. And we look forward to seeing people in Sydney soon. Yeah,
awesome. And just a big shout out, Alex Ivanov, who is, you must be the only person writing or commenting, because I've got you, you're in my feed. I love it. You're a shy software guy, and you're starting a community. I'm pumped. And obviously, Adrian, because Adrian's the best. I think too. I think he's a top bloke. If you don't know Adrian Lee, follow Adrian Lee, Lea. He's an absolute LinkedIn boss. So big shout out to you. And thank you, everybody.
Thank you. We will see you guys again soon. Have a good day.
Bye.